Good afternoon. We're sitting now with Mr. Abdiel Hughes, one of Antigua's prominent or highly rated cricket coaches. And we just want to talk to him briefly in reference to how he's adjusted and how his adjustment continues with the interception of COVID. Good afternoon, Abdiel Hughes. How are you doing today?
Good afternoon. Good to be on the page once again. I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine.
So, 2020, starting your year January, how was cricket going?
Very good. Very good. Mexico started on a bang. Rising Sun was just there and thereabout, and then police called me to work with them, and that was a game changer from what it was when I met it to what it is before the interruption of COVID, and that was that was the year. I mean, it was really good, very good, if you ask me.
So you feel like 2020 was going to be the year?
Yeah, I really see some championship in the making. The response was very good. I was even approached by a few policemen, players rather, a police team, to come along with them to send this based on what was generating between us, player coach wise, and didn't want that energy to stop. And so yeah, I felt really good.
So generally speaking, the the success would not have just been locally, but it could have transferred into regional competition also.
Of course, because one thing about me, I don't watch face. I don't watch character of players. I look. I believe in who I put out there on the field. So you may say, "Oh, it's Ambrose bowling or Andy bowling." It matters not. I believe in who's going out there to bat, and you have a role to play. And so, with that confidence being placed into the batter or the players, you will normally get win, and that's what generates that in my team going forward. And so, obviously, I heard about the Johnson Charles and the Fletcher. I mean, I'll beat those guys. I certainly will.
It would have definitely been uh, a head-on collision going back into that RSS tournament for a second consecutive year after being away from it for a while. But with you being on board, do you think that your confidence had already crossed to the players?
Oh, most definitely, and it was, I mean, ushered out by the players. How confident they feel versus what they had, and it makes me feel good because that's my job. If that wasn't happening, then I'll be failing, And so going to Saint Vincent,
Yeah.
I tell you, I can assure you, I know cricket is a funny game, but I'll roll some head down there.
So the year started good.
Yeah.
You're looking for championship. You saw them coming. What happened?
COVID.
Or COVID happened.
COVID. I mean, that was a game changer in itself because even though the last week we were training, remember we played a practice match because we still with the perceived notion that it's not gonna happen. We're still going, but lo and behold, it was bigger than we thought.
Actually, Police versus Mexico played the last match of the Parish League tournament.
Yes,
The
yes.
last match to close it off. And
The
that was the
partially.
only match played in Antigua
Yeah.
that day. I think
Yes.
it was a Sunday.
Yes. And that was intriguingly, you have players, people asking me, so who are you going to coach? Because you coach Mahika, you coach your police. I was coaching cricket. The best cricket was the winner. Mahika still came out the winner, but it was a good game. It was a close game. And that's what you want to see in cricket. The competitive nature. Not just don't turn up. Compete. And that was good in itself. That was the best game I saw for the parish league, and evidently it was the last game, so it sticks with you.
So, what differences has COVID brought along for you?
Oh, the first week, the first week, the Monday, I'm like, nothing there to do. Because, for 13 years, when cricket starts,
It don't stop.
it don't stop until the season end and then the preseason starts. So my wife knows when this cricket season, when she's home, when she get home, I'm at home. So now to be closed down, like, well, what to do? So you see my golf bag? I got out golf stick and I was hitting 100 balls in my yard, that little space, just to occupy the time. People passing like, Abdiel crazy? I said, no, but I have to do something,
So
you know?
just let me just stick up in there a minute. So it it questioned your mental strength, didn't it?
Of course. Of course. Then the next day I have the football playing in the yard. And then I have my cricket ball and trying to hit stump. Because I'm normally being out there doing so. How am I going to just sit down and not doing anything?
Did you anticipate it going for that long?
The COVID?
Yeah.
No. I thought it was over by now. I thought we would get back at the cricket field. But also I had a dream. It was a Tuesday afternoon and I woke up. The dream was my daughter came. She said, Abdi, we have the pick in the yard. I took her right where where you see a park club. I took her right there. Right? And I started picking produce for her. And I woke up. I'm like, wait, but I don't have anything in the yard. And I went right there and started farking those banks for a week. I never stopped. It just propelled me over, and I said, okay, a bank and a half a day, because it was very, very thick, very, very hard. So bank and a half a day, and I won't stop until I get it completed. And then I went further up, and and there goes you. There's my backyard garden.
It happened since that shutdown that a lot of persons, or I say many persons, have started backyard gardening. A lot of persons been up and about the place doing their backyard gardening. So you're not the only one.
Right.
You're not the only successful one in backyard gardening.
All right.
But I believe that, would you say that kind of took away maybe the stress of being locked down?
But most definitely, it also replaced my therapeutic time for cricket, which can't be compared with people really, because I'm dealing with people during cricket. But then evidently now takes care of the home. so how do you equate the two? But I like dealing with people, but then this take up the time, and I get up in the morning, I do what I have to water them, and in the afternoon, and then the wife can go out and reap, and so it helps the family with the COVID. But trust me, it was tough in the beginning because the weather was hot. It was a drought, but I persevere, and thank God it's sent some rain, and now it looks a bit greener.
Looking good right now.
Yeah, she is.
But back to the COVID issue and sport.
Yeah.
Do you think that COVID would have taught us, or taught you as a coach, a different perspective when dealing with people, not just, or when you're dealing with coaching persons, not just training them to be players or whatever, but their mental strength? Because as you just said, COVID challenged you mentally as to how you adjusted with that drastic change,
right,
from being on the field to being in your house.
Right. Yeah. So it is a translation from the ordinary to the unordinary, if we put it that way, where you don't accustomed to that, but then you have to adjust to it because it is what it is. Now, if you're not mentally tough to deal with situations like this, it'll break down. What am I going to do? Where to go? But you now have to sit back and say, okay, this is a challenge that presents itself. How am I going to deal with the challenges? And hence, I quickly realized the shutdown is here.
And the shutdown was real.
And it was real. It was a curfew. You can't leave your yard. You gotta have certain time out to get back in. So you have to adapt to that. How tough are you? Are you gonna curse? The situation is there. No, you adapt, right? And I find now, just as in life, COVID has taught us, not just because of COVID or the loss of the lockdown, you can adapt your life to be a better person. You have put priority in place, prioritize your life, other than just go down the road that you normally go down before COVID.
Like the routine.
Like that's the routine. For instance, if you want to get to town, there's so many roads to get to town from here. But you have, before you leave here, you gotta know which one the road you're taking. Not when you reach to this junction, you're gonna create conflict right there.
Yeah.
So you gotta have a plan going where you want to go. How are you gonna get there before you leave? Where you leave. And so I think COVID has taught me a lesson that is profound, and I hope that not only the cricketers but people in general can look at a broader perspective of life that is not business as usual. Maybe I can tweak my life a little bit because where I was going wasn't the right path to get there. COVID has should taught us now to sit back and look to see the easiest path to get there than to just run down the road.
So actually there are COVID positive. COVID
Yes.
wasn't just negative.
It's a lot negative, but it's a lot positive. So many deaths.
Perspectives.
Yes,
Give you
yes.
whole new perspective
Yes.
towards life and
But
what
it's
it
a challenge.
entails.
It's how you accept the challenge that presents itself. You know? And I just wish all the athletes all the best. Hope that they look at the broader picture than the negative. Or as you say, look at the half empty glass or half full glass,
Right.
being it the full glass instead of look on the negative side of it and go forward.
Right. So would say that you're pretty much surviving COVID well.
Yeah, so I've planted yam, cassava, I've planted cabbages, cucumbers, anchovies, beet, rosemary, corn, tomato, sweet pepper. I mean the works. I mean so the wife could just go. She says she's the CEO.
You're fully,
And so,
fully loaded right
I'm
now.
fully loaded.
Fully
yeah.
loaded right now.
You know, but it's been good.
I really hope that other athletes would see things that way, stay on the positive side and not just drift off because everything is on the negative.
Right.
You know. So anyway, Mr. Hughes, nice talking to you this afternoon.
Always
I know
a
we
pleasure.
will meet again.
Always a pleasure.
Okay.